The Economic War Room is here at CPAC once again, and you meet the most amazing, remarkable people, great speakers, great time here in Dallas. One of my friends and one of my favorite people is here with us. He was working at the Patriot Mobile has a booth here, and the American Journey Experience has some artifacts here. And this is none other than the legendary Tim Barton, the son of David Barton. But you know, I've been on Capitol tours with his father, and I've been on with him. I love Tim's tours best. This guy knows history, he knows America, loves America, and he's brought with him some artifacts that we're going to show you. And I'll tell you why that's important economically, but welcome, Tim.
Thanks so much, good to be with you.
Good to have you here. Now, you were with us in our Irving studio.
Yes.
Now you're here in Dallas. We need to have you come out to Argyle and see the Liberty Hawk Ranch.
I would love to do it.
So, anyway, you're here. Are you speaking at CPAC? Is your dad speaking? Or?
No, we are just connecting with some different groups. And so, as you know, working some things behind the scenes a little bit along the way.
Yep.
So trying to advance the cause of liberty.
We appreciate that. So we're not speaking here either, but we're meeting great people like you. And just walking through the booths and just people coming up. You know, we've met NSIC advisors that were trained in Hawaii, came up and got to meet for the first time because they're at Liberty University, it's online. Mm-hmm. So we train them in our advisor training program. But it's great to see you here.
Thank you, I'm so glad to be with you today.
All right, so you've got a couple articles here. I want you to share those with us, but then I want to talk to you about how we can turn America around. America was founded right. I'm convinced of that, but I don't think most Americans are convinced of that. So help me make that case.
Well, and one of the things I would say too is important is the reason you're convinced of that is you've seen enough original documents that are true that would give the indication of that. And the reason that matters is we're not just convinced because we feel strongly enough, because the truth should be more important than how we feel, and the truth should shape how we feel. And so what we do at Wall Builders is we spend time going through original documents. Because even though we might love an individual from history, they could be an incredible hero, if we find documents that reveal they're not as incredible of a hero as we thought, we have to be open to the fact that we need to be honest about who people were and what they did, and that's where history and the original documents can help reveal that. So some of these documents I have, I'll start with this one. This is a document showing John Hancock. He is shaking the hand.
Like the John Hancock. Sign
Correct.
your John Hancock here.
That's the one.
Yep.
Declaration. He was the governor of Massachusetts, and this is from 1790 to 93 era, and they were hosting an equality ball in Massachusetts.
Again, hosting an
equality ball.
Equality. That's
in
a
Massachusetts.
That's a popular buzz term today.
It's a big buzzword.
Apparently, in the 1790s, it was also a term. It was a thing, right?
Correct. And one of the things that I would encourage people when we learn American history today, so often we hear that America was racist because the 1619 Project and critical race theory, the way it's being taught today is people are learning America's evil and racist. The reality is America went a very different direction than most people know. If people went back and read the original draft of the Declaration of Independence, the largest grievance on the original draft of the Declaration was a grievance against the slave trade and arguing for the humanity of the slaves. Well, the king actually had struck down a lot of early anti-slavery laws, which is one of the reasons people thought we should separate from the king. All that to say is when we actually do separate in 1776, every single northern colony began passing laws for the abolition of slavery. And so at this point, in Massachusetts, slavery has already been abolished, which is why it also makes sense that these are free blacks joining with free whites. And John Hancock is shaking the hand of the wealthiest black man in America. His name was Paul Cuffey. Some say it was Paul Cuffey. I don't know how he pronounced it. I wasn't there. I know how it's spelled. But what you do see is there's a very different mentality from a lot of history than we see.
So you have John Hancock, who signed the Constitution, now here in this what do you call this, a lithograph?
So yeah, so this was a lithograph. The way it was done, so an early picture. So the way it was printed is a lithograph, but that's a picture of an equality ball. This
shaking hands, demonstrating equality.
Correct.
Yes, in 1790.